Good day, everybody. I'm meteorologist Craig Tillison from the FleetWeather Ocean Routing Center in New York State, where the current time is 1625 Z for today, Thursday, October 27th, 2022. Today I'll be briefly discussing the Northwest Pacific Tropics. We're looking at Tropical Depression 26W, which is just to the east of the Philippines, and its potential implications going forward. So currently looking at shortwave IR, we have Tropical Depression 26W near about 130 east with a blowup of convection or thunderstorms near that same longitude. It's under an area of pretty weak wind shear and is expected to slowly strengthen as it moves to the west-northwest, as you'll see from the guidance here. The track of TD26W shows gradual strengthening, peaking at a Cat 1 typhoon around 75 knots on the 29th at 12Z. Then continuing to move to the west-northwest, potentially re-emerging off the west coast of the Philippines, then coming north, turning into the eastern South China Sea and eventually into the Luzon Strait, weakening to a 55-knot tropical storm by the 1st at 12Z. We're going to compare model guidance between the GEFS ensemble between 0Z October 27th today and 6Z October 27th today. Looking at the first set of data, we see that overall a slightly stronger system is forecasted with an earlier curve with the mean in the solid black there, kind of coasting along the northeast coast of the Philippines and then recurving. And that's because there's a shortwave trough that's going to pick this up and keep it over warm water for a longer period of time. And some ensemble members even bring this down to a sub 940 millibar typhoon. However, the 6Z data came in with a much weaker system and a slightly further trend to the west, and this would limit the overall intensity of the system and make it a slightly weaker, but at the same time it's going to be potentially moving further west now with a lot of members in the South China Sea compared to the 0Z data. We see several members from the 0Z data in the South China Sea over here, but the new data coming in now brings a large majority of almost half the ensemble members into the South China Sea, which could have routing implications for potential clients going north or south through that area. If we look here at the model data for the surface pressure and SIG wave heights, starting from today at 12Z, the 27th, we bring this out in time. We see that a gradual strengthening will continue for TD26W via the GFS before weakening as it interacts with the northern portion of the Philippines, and then pretty good consensus that the center of low pressure will reemerge on the northwest coast of the Philippines, maybe briefly entering into the eastern South China Sea before being picked up by that trough that I was telling you about. Now, exactly when that trough interacts with TD26W will determine when it begins to turn to the north and eventually northwest, or if the ridge, which is the trend now that we're seeing, a stronger ridge, could potentially push it further to the west and keep it over the South China Sea longer. But as for now, we see that it's going to be located right along the tip of Luzon, probably by the early part of Monday next week into November 1st at 0Z, before kind of slowly beginning to move off to the northeast. Once again, I'm Craig Tillison from the FleetWeather Ocean Routing Center in New York State. Everybody stay connected and safe.